I am shown a teacup, carefully hand-painted with one of the most intricate floral patterns I've ever seen. You know the kind. This teacup, I'm told, is the picture of a perfect woman. Dainty, delicate, and most importantly, free of imperfections. There's a point being made here, I see, but here's the thing. A broken teacup is a roadmap of memories. Each chip a notch of experience, each rift a highway leading from one story to the next. And while warm cupboards and sturdy shelves are certainly safe, you can't mark up your path if you stay in one place.
We are protesting the abortion bans that are happening across the United States. And we are trying to keep our rights to our own bodies.
Today we're out showing solidarity with our other Missourians to make sure that we're pushing back against some of the legislation that we've seen filed throughout the country, specifically referencing what we saw in Texas a few weeks ago. We know that reproductive rights are under attack, and it's our job as women, it's our job as people, and it's our job as Missourians to make sure that people have access to reproductive rights that they need, and that's what today's all about for me. So we've already had one Republican colleague in the House. Her name's Representative Mary Elizabeth Coleman, who has very proudly said that she plans to file verbatim legislation in Missouri that we saw pass in Texas. And what we know about Missouri is our Republican colleagues want to attack women's rights and reproductive rights every opportunity that they have. And this will be no different. I have no doubt that this legislation will be filed and will be pushed. This is an election year, which means the game becomes who can out-conservative who, because people have their eye on Senate and Congress all across the board. And this will be the issue that people campaign on, which makes events like this even more important and showing solidarity even more important. The only other thing I would add is just a deep gratitude to everybody that showed out. I know we have people registering voters here, which for me as an elected official, that's one of the number one most important things we can do.
The attacks that we are going to see and continue to see on our ability to make decisions about our body are real, and they are happening, and it will be worse than ever in the upcoming session. And I'm not saying that to depress you guys, but I'm saying that to let you know how much events like these matter, and even more so, your voices are needed in Jeff City. My district flipped from red to blue, the only district that cycle to flip from red to blue or from blue to red, by less than 100 votes. And that is because people like JoJo showed up and made phone calls and knocked doors for me. People like Cameron, I saw Cameron walking around earlier, made calls for me. People like your professors here at Missouri State hosted fundraisers for me in their home. People like Stacy knocked doors. If one volunteer did not believe in me or did not show up for me, we would not have a second Democrat in the lower half of the state fighting for reproductive justice and reproductive rights in Jeff City. Here in Missouri, about 25% of the House are women. About 30% of the Senate are women, and our governor is a male. What that tells me is someone can file a piece of legislation in the House, pass it over to the Senate, and have the governor sign it without a single woman ever having to vote on that legislation. That is crazy to me. We need more women that are elected and that are fighting for the things that we're out here fighting for. And I am not here to say that there's not a role for men to play in that. You guys are here with us. You're supporting this cause. Progress does not happen unless we have allies. But we need more of them, and we need more women that are making decisions about what happens to our bodies, what we can and can't do, who's welcome in our state, who has health care in our state, what does childcare look like? I don't know if any of you have children, but trying to get your child in affordable daycare and safe daycare right now is a huge problem. And that is something that Planned Parenthood advocates for because they understand what that means for families. So when we're talking about organizations, whether they're pro-life or pro-choice, and Dee hit on this earlier, that's a false binary, right? Those are two options that don't capture the array of things that we're talking about. To be pro-life here in the state of Missouri, it should mean that you're voting for healthcare access for parents. It should mean that you're supporting daycares. It should mean that you're voting for universal pre-K, because we know when we send kids to school at the age of 5 and 80% of their brain is already formed, we are missing them. We are missing the mark. It means that the 976 children that our Children's Division and foster care lost. We have 976 kids that we don't know where they are that are in the state's care. That's not pro-life, is it? Not at all. So we need to take back the narrative. The people out here that are having this conversation, that are showing up, we are the party of pro-life. We are the people that are advocating for that child who's lost in the foster care system. We are the party that is out here advocating for parents to be able to have health care so they can get the substance use services they need so they can work and have their children. We're the party that's out here saying not everybody's meant to be a parent, and that's their right. They should get to decide when and if and how they become a parent. And sometimes that means they don't want to. Sometimes that means maybe they need to adopt or foster children. Or sometimes that means they want to have children on their own. That is the right that we all have as Missourians and the right that we all have as United States citizens. But that right is under attack. Thank you all so much for being here. I believe in Missouri. I went to this school. I graduated from this building. I taught in this building for 5 years after graduation in the sociology department. This campus and this state have given me everything I have, and I refuse to leave because I want to stay here and make it better, and I hope every single one of you out there will join me in that. I know that it's easier to move to a place like New York or California who's done this work, but I refuse to leave you guys behind, and I refuse to leave behind the state that has given me everything that I have.
If you're pro-life, why are you passing so many other laws that harm people, children, women, LGBTQ people, brown people, black people? Voting laws, what are they afraid of? They are afraid of the populace, so that's why we need to be educated, we need to work, and when I say work, you need to get involved with Planned Parenthood, get involved with NARAL, get involved with the organizations that are making a difference and keeping up legally. And you need to get involved in your city, state, county, and hopefully on a federal level in your decision making. So learn the system, run for office, make your voice heard in whatever way you can. I came into this a few years ago. This is the original brief copy of Roe versus Wade from October 1971. My brother-in-law had just come out of college and had his first real law job, and he is one of the authors. There's 3 authors of young lawyers that wrote Roe versus Wade so that his senior partner in his law firm, a woman, could present it to the Supreme Court. And this is one of the original briefs, and you can tell by the coloring on it that it's one side is white and the other side is brown. But a few years ago, as my brother-in-law aged and has since passed away, he wrote a note to me on the inside and mailed it to me. And the note says, "To Dee, a true keeper of the flame, Mike Brown."
I'm a heart and a brain, 2 arms and hands that will change the world around me. I am a woman, smart, passionate, resilient, and even though I'm a fucking mess sometimes, I still know that I'm brilliant. You have something to offer this world regardless of whether you're broken. Your story needs to be told. Your thoughts need to be spoken. No matter your status, your past, orientation, or race, regardless of chip scratches, imperfections, or stains, you are worthy, you are important, you matter. So let's throw their damn teacup against the wall and watch it shatter.